Okay, so what I want to do next is work on the aesthetics of the editor a little bit. So you'll see, as we've got at the moment, you can see the entire canvas. You can see the checkered background, and it's okay, but it could be better. You remember the one we were looking at here. Again, it's still fairly simplistic, but it's just making it so it's a bit of a tidier experience. It's all a single color, and we can't see the square canvas. Now, there might be multiple ways you can achieve this. I'm just going to show you one of the ways in which I work with it. So what you'll see, well, first of all, let's start off with getting rid of this black border we can see here and making the background to be a static navy color. We'll start off with that process. And a lot of these things can be done within the product options. There's a lot of things in here. It's your first port of call for any initial settings you're looking for when you're trying to do things in your MegaEdit product. So let's see, let's change a couple of things in here. I'm going to say background pattern is going to be a solid color. I'm going to specifically type in what that solid color is. And I'm going to make it so that my canvas movement is locked down as well. So they can't move the label around. It's just fixed on the screen and they can upload things to it. So it makes it look a bit neater as well. The other thing we want to do is to get rid of that canvas shape around the square, just because the square shape isn't particularly relevant to what we're looking for. So what I'm going to do on that one is look at this section here. So page rectangle color. We'll get a bit smart with this. We'll say page rectangle color. We'll put an RGB value. And remember, we can put a fourth value in the RGB, which is transparency. So if I put a 0 at the end there, that will mean that the border becomes transparent. So you see here, the border's disappeared. It's not updated the background color, but we do need to reload the product to see that. So let me do that now. Okay, we're halfway there. You can see I can't move the canvas around. It's all navy. The only thing we have now is a big white square for our canvas. So here's where we can get a bit more creative again. So what I want to do is to actually put another one of these types of fields over the top of our canvas, which is going to make it the same color as the background, but it's not going to be on the eventual printed output. So it's there for visualization and for aesthetic purposes only. Because ultimately, when we view the preview and create the output, we still want it to be white around the border, not navy. So I've got a clip art just for this. So it's a navy circle. Now you can see here, if I make it the same size as my canvas, there's a little bit of a quirk where you can still see the outline of the canvas. Easy way to get around this is to actually make the image you're using for aesthetic purposes just to overspill the canvas a little bit. So I'm resizing this. I've created it this size for a reason, and hopefully I know the values this needs to be. And there we go. You can see now that because it overspills the edge of the canvas, it's all now a seamless kind of look. Now, if we actually looked at this in the preview, it now means that our outline of the outside of the label is navy, which we don't want. So what we want to do is make it so that this new field, one, we don't want our customers to interact with it. So I'm going to say do not select. But I'm also going to find do not print. So it means that even though it's on here, when I go to my preview, we still see the white background.